Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, if you are new here, my name is Mufaro and we are the Make Your Monday family. If you are looking to get your life together, if you are looking to become the best version of yourself, and you're looking for people to be along with you on that journey, people who are having open, honest, transparent, but constructive conversations, then this is definitely the family that you want to be part of. So you can hit that subscribe button and become part of this amazing family. Here we talk about business, we talk about life, we talk about faith, we talk about everything that is in between. So I hope that that's definitely something you would love to be part of. And to my returnings, my regulars, my Monday makers, my movers and my shakers, thank you so much for joining me on another video. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the engagement. It means so much to me. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, all our social media handles are linked in the description box below. Otherwise, you can follow us on Instagram because we do have a page there where we do other posts that are not just the YouTube videos, so you can hop on over there. So without taking too much time, let's get into today's video. So again, if this is your first video, we are in a 6-part series where we are talking about starting a business, maintaining a business, things that we need to learn or think about when we are doing a business. So this is the second video. I would suggest you go back and watch the first video and then you can come back and watch this one. So in our previous video, we spoke about how to start your business, right? So we spoke about the difference between a business and a side hustle. And we spoke about how the importance of research. We spoke about how in research actually takes your dream from being a dream to actually becoming a possibility. It informs you about, is your business actually feasible? At this point, you're going to figure out, like, is it actually something that you can do? Is it a business you can get into? Because you're going to figure out the barriers to entry. How easy or how difficult is it to enter that? And then the second thing we spoke about was you're going to identify what is the problem. Is there actually a problem? Because a business must be solving a problem or you must be adding value. So where we ended off, we were now speaking about the target market. That the moment you figure out that, okay, there's a problem and I'm going to solve it, you need to realize that the problem belongs to someone. It is someone's problem. So we gave the example of the taxi business, realizing that, okay, people in my area don't have access to transport. So the problem is for the people in your area and you want to bring the solution. So in today's video, I'm going to use a slightly different example so that we're kind of touching and dabbling on everyone's industry. Once you've defined your target market, so let's say you've figured out that there's no hair salon in your area. So at this point, your target market is going to be everyone with hair, right? So that's quite broad. So at this point, you can decide, do you want to narrow down your target market or do you want to keep it as it is? Now, keeping it as it is what is known as your mass marketing. If you've done business studies or any kind of business course, they'll tell you about mass marketing versus niche marketing. So with a niche is that you've decided that out of the overall population, I'm going to target a certain group. So for example, with the hair salon, yes, there's everyone with hair, but maybe you decide, I want to focus on small girls with hair. But which race? So all those things, you've decided that your niche market maybe is going to be small black girls, and then that is your niche market. Or you can decide to stick with your mass market and say everyone with hair, but still you have to sort of narrow down so that you are not stretching yourself too thin. Yet to see, but I guess because we're using the example of a salon, but at this point you want to figure out your target market. Now your target market is also intrinsically tied to your price, because the thing is, when you decide to do a mass market, generally as a rule of thumb, products, goods or services targeted towards a mass market tend to have lower barriers to entry, so you can't really have a very high price unless it's a very specialized product or service of which that already moves you into a niche market. So at this point you also have to think about your price. Is that, do you want to go for many people at a low price but you're pushing volumes, or do you want to target a small group of people but at a higher price and, you know, kind of balances out at the end of the day? But that is up to you. So after you've figured out your target market, the next thing you need to ask yourself is, okay, I know who my target market is now. But now you need to ask yourself, where are they? And how do I get it to them that I now have a solution to your problem, or I have a value addition to a service that you were encountering, right? So at this point, you are going to be looking at where is your target market located. This is not just tied to the geographical location, but usually that is your starting point. So with the hair salon, your target market, are they in your neighborhood? Or are you targeting outside the neighborhood, right? Then where is your target market also speaks to, because we are in a digital age, it's also speaking to where's your target market digitally. Because you need to figure out, is your target market online or is it offline? So that when you are doing ads or when you're sorting out your marketing plan, you are not wasting resources. Imagine your target market, they buy Porsches. It's highly unlikely that they're online to buy a Porsche. However, maybe you have a nail business. It's very likely that most of your target market is actually going to be online. So this is going to help you with directing your energy, with figuring out a marketing plan, because you now know where your target market is and you have an idea of how to reach them. This will then take us to our third and final point for this video. So after we figured out the target market, we figured out also how to get to them, which is broadly our marketing. I'll put it in quotations for now, right? The next thing is that we actually want to get into the development phase. So if we're looking at a product, at this point we're now looking at the actual development of the product. So at this point you're now going to start to think of things like your packaging, your logo, what colors are you going to use? Does your product, is it safe? Does it need testing at this point before you can roll it out into the market? Does it meet industry standards? Does it meet consumer standards? The same goes for a service. At this point, you're going to start to think about your actual service. If it's that your service is that you are doing hair, you're going to start to think of location. What aesthetic are you going to go for? Again, this is driven by your target market, the taste of your target market as well. So you're going to have to start to think about those nitty-gritty things, your logo colors, your furniture, the aesthetics have to match the logo color, or are they not? All those things are things that you're going to have to think about at this stage. And again, at this point, you are now going to decide what is your USP, or what we call like your unique selling point. So you've done your research. Remember, in the research phase, we've also seen who are our competitors, our potential competitors, who else is in the field. And you see, okay, there are a couple of other people who are offering this service. You now need to decide, how are you going to differentiate yourself from them? What is unique about your product? Are you going to focus on quality? Are you going to sell your product based on affordability? Are you going to maybe sell it based off of aesthetics? Same thing with your service. Are you going to differentiate it because of price? Are you going to differentiate because of location? You're also going to begin to think of things like customer service. What is it that you want when people think of your business? What do you want it to be known for? What is the first thing that someone should think about when they think about your product, when they think about your service? So all those things are things that we have to think about. And I think just to wrap it up, because I do have a couple minutes, I am timing myself so that I don't go over time, is that it is after all of this is done. So after you've gotten your product, you've tested it, it meets the guidelines, because we don't want to make things that kill people, or your service, you've done a trial run, you set up your studio, you set up your working space. It is now time to get the ball rolling. At this point, you just have to get started. After all the research, after all the planning, it has to end in execution. I know, but you know, there's a verse that I love from Zechariah 4:10, and it speaks about don't despise the day of humble beginnings. So if I tell you where I started, but I'll share most of it in the next video when we're speaking about the skills that you need as an entrepreneur. But when I started my dishwash business, I started off by selling to car washes. I had the vision in mind. I knew where I wanted to go, but I thought I need a starting point. And I needed someone who was going to be honest with me. I needed someone who was going to give me real-time feedback. So don't be afraid of starting. Just get started. Because as you start and as you continue to do it, you will start to perfect it. You're going to start to get customer feedback, which can help you to better shape your product, to improve maybe your service delivery, to improve the actual product. So those are the things that we're going to be unpacking a bit more in the next video. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for leaving your thoughts. Which part of the video did you like? Let me know in the comment section, and anything else you'd like me to cover concerning business. Otherwise, from me to you, see you in our next video.